The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the September 11th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, send it to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So quite a rally going on. You got the Dow at 526, S&P 45, 136 for the NASDAQ, 30 for the Russell. Big move there. 104 for the transports, 52 for the semis, 133 for the NASDAQ composite. New York Stock Exchange up 184. Gold is off $10 right now. Silver's up 28 cents. Light sweet crude off $1.11. Natural gas is up 7 cents, I should say. And copper's up 2 pennies. The chart that we've got up on our screen here is Franco-Nevada. It's the only, well, other than we took a look at VGZ yesterday with regard to its TD9 count top. Franco-Nevada is going to go ahead and complete a TD9 count topping pattern today for its daily time frame. It'll complete that pattern tomorrow. What that suggests may be just a pullback to test that oscillator and change line at 195.87. You can see how that has acted as support, certainly going back to the early part of August. Therefore, if price were to close below that green oscillator and change line for Franco-Nevada, you would expect or anticipate price to pull back to 191.09. That's the top of its daily profile. If price were to close below that, then we'd be looking at its buy zone, the buy zone between 183.50 and 186.35. Franco-Nevada says be careful. Why? You have a daily TD9 count top. It'll complete that pattern, as we said, tomorrow. You are in wave number 7 on the weekly time frame chart. All that needs is a lower high. Earliest that could form would be next Friday. And the monthly time frame chart is in bar number 9 as well. So Franco-Nevada says, if you're in, well, first of all, Franco-Nevada worth watching because of its weighting inside of the GDX, the miners out there. Doesn't mean that watch that daily time frame out there. Look, the last time we had a TD9 count top on bar number 9, August the 13th, and that led to a move lower. That was nothing more than really a test of profile support and that green oscillator unchanged line out there. So it's only Franco-Nevada that really has any kind of signal that out here. Let's go take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, Advanced Client Oscillator, as well as the Spot VIX Index. So let's get those two charts up on our screen. Lower left is going to be the New York Stock Exchange. The Advanced Client Oscillator remains above the zero threshold level at 76. Not overbought by any stretch of the imagination out there, so no reason for it to not continue to rally further. Being above that zero threshold level tells you that buyers have the edge. When we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange chart itself, no topping signal whatsoever, so no reason for it to not to continue to rally. Spot VIX Index continues to trade below the 50-day exponential moving average. The 50 days at 1626. The Spot VIX right now trade out at 1491. Now, like yesterday, we are testing. Have we tested? Let's see, the high of the swing point that I'm looking at back from August 28th, 1469. Did we get down to 1469 today? I got to move this over. Got down to a low of 1466. So 2 days in a row, we have tested and rejected this swing point. I mean, believe it or not, all that's suggesting is that if you can't bust into the downside, what volatility would do is try to bust it to the upside. Now, busting into the upside would take us to that 50-day exponential moving average of 1626. So bears worth paying attention to, I think. But if we start taking a look at the equity futures, so let's go do that. Let's put up the four horsemen out here, see what kind of signals they are generating for us. Give me a moment. We'll get that up on our screen. Left-hand side, now we're going to be rolling these contracts. I'll do it tonight because there's just so much work involved on my side. So we'll be rolling to the December contract. And so worthwhile to certainly tune in tomorrow because what we'll have is new profile levels. And remember, I am off all next week out there. So I definitely, hey, look, if you can't tune in tomorrow, at least listen to the recorded show so you get the advantage of those new levels and any kind of other signals that we have out there. Let's talk about the signal inside the ES Mini. There is none. It's bullish. It's trading above profile resistance, the green oscillator and change line. Bar number 5, bearish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but that's not the condition that we have at this moment in time. So likely to continue to rally further. The NQ is going to make a run for the top of its profile. That's at 24,068. We close above that, then you're going to be in breakout mode for the NQ for its daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. If we take a look at the Dow Equity Future contract, looks pretty good. I wish I could put on my black background charts to see how the Dow is trading in those other currencies out there. But the Dow says be careful. Now, the daily time frame, you can see wave number 7. That's that letter G on my screen. That needs a lower high to confirm that top. And also bearish reversal candle would confirm a top as well. The Russell 2000, a new profile formed yesterday. Price is already trading above the top of that level. No idea whether it will close above that today. But if it does, that would be a bullish signal. 24,0480 is the number that you're looking at there. That is the top of that new daily profile. Let's dive down just a tad, if we can, and see what's going on from an intraday standpoint. And, well, I've got the gold contract up on my screen. Let's just start there. The gold contract, the number to be watching today to the downside is going to be the 60-minute TD9 count bottom pattern. So as soon as this chart lets me to, I'll give you what that number is. So to the downside, you would be watching 3651.80. If we close below that, we're headed lower. Lower to where? I would say we'd be headed lower to the 3619-ish area. That's the green oscillator and change line for the daily time frame. Now, if we were to get a bearish reversal candle today, that would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top for the daily time frame. The 2-hour time frame chart, just like the 60-minute, formed a TD9 count bottom. Did that earlier this morning at about 6 o'clock. It completed that pattern at 8. That's on the 2-hour time frame chart. Now, here we can see that price has rallied into that green oscillator and change line and has rejected that level. So watch that 3677 area. Now, if you get above that, you should get to 3683.90 or 3689.60 out there. So that's what I'd be watching to the upside. That's what I'd be watching to the downside for gold. Let's move on and take a look at what's going on inside the ES Mini and the NQ. So let's get up the ES Mini. Again, we're just still sticking with the September contract out here, but we'll be rolling those over come tomorrow on Friday, the 12th. Well, actually, I'll do it this evening. But if we take a look at the ES Mini, get that daily time frame, we're in full breakout mode for the daily time frame, just looking for any kind of topping signals if there are any. Nothing that I see on the 5-hour chart. Nothing that I see on the 4-hour chart. You are in bar number 8 on the 2-hour chart, so maybe by day's end you could get a TD9 count top for that. The 60-minute is going to complete a TD9 count top at 12 noon out there. The 30-minute already has one in place. What that's looking for is if price closes above on a 30-minute basis, 65.8650, it'll negate that signal. But this says be careful with regard to the ES Mini, at least intraday. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Let's get to some of our requests out here. The first one, actually not a request, but just a discussion inside the Tiger's Den about the Nikkei 225 and whether or not it is topped out. So when I take a look at what the Nikkei 25 did last night on a daily time frame, it negated its TD9 count topping pattern. That formed on August 19th. That actually sets up an A to B equals CD pattern on the upside for the daily time frame. Let's open up this daily time frame chart out here. So we'll just take a look at the conservative A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. So the question is, on the daily time frame, has the Nikkei topped? My answer to that question is no. Why? Because it took out a topping pattern today and triggered an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. I'm trying to copy this. So just copy and paste. Let's try one more. There we go. There we got it. Now let's go ahead and move that second one over. And we're going to get a projection here, a price projection. Initial 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside. Out of daily time frame gets you up to the 45,903 level. So the daily time frame says no top. The weekly time frame depends upon tomorrow's close. But at this stage here, price is trading above its weekly TD9 count top. Now that high is at 43,876.42. If we close above that, we are nowhere near a top inside of the Nikkei 225 out there. At least that's Stevie's call with regard to the charts. And when we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, it is in wave number 7. That needs a lower high to confirm that pattern. That couldn't come until the end of October out there. But otherwise, there's no other topping signal. Price above that green oscillator and change line. This will become, it appears, maybe month number 5 to the upside. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the upside there. So a very strong bullish move. Has the Nikkei 225 top? Stevie's charts say no, not at all. But let's see what tomorrow's closes out there and see if that weekly TD9 count topping pattern holds. So that's what my charts are suggesting for the Nikkei 225. By the way, over in Asia last night, I mean, markets traded higher, took out tops. Hang Seng, the Shanghai out there. If we have time, we can come back and take a look at those charts. But in the meantime, let's go to the first request that came in, and that is from Dan inside the Tigers. I want you to take a look at Hot H, H-O-T-H is the ticker symbol. That is trading out as we speak right now at $1.69. It ran into resistance this week at the top of its weekly profile, Dan. That is $1.78. That's the level that you need to see price close above. Now, at the same time, the price is dealing with weekly profile resistance. You've got a daily time frame chart, and it looks beautiful today. You know, it looks beautiful yesterday. The difference between yesterday and today is bar number 8 of a TD9 count, and it's at a high. The last time that Hot H made a high out here was with bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That was on July the 11th out there. Now we're at September 11th. 2 months. 2 months have passed. It looks like we're setting up for the same kind of signal with price pulling back, and I would say the price would pull back towards the $1.43-ish level. That's the daily oscillator and change line. Again, don't have a confirmed TD9 count top just yet, but there's no reason for it to not confirm and complete that, or confirm that pattern tomorrow, completed on Monday. So, Dan, that's what I would see with HOTH. Hope that helps you out. The second request was to take a look at ticker symbol SLS. So let's pull up SLS, which is trading out right now at $1.91. On a daily time frame, you have a profile that formed yesterday. Support, which was tested, was at $1.81. Resistance is now being tested today, and that's at $1.92. So you're looking for price to close above $1.92. If we take a look at the swing point that's out here, that was formed on August the 28th. Volume there, 1.8 million shares. So in 2 hours of trading, this has done 1.7 million. That's a beautiful thing. You're pushing into a swing point with volume, but you can see it's running into those sellers at $1.92 out there. Nonetheless, if price can close, the ideal close for you today would be above $1.93 or higher. You'd be inside that swing point with volume, and if that's the case, then you're going to go ahead and at least test that high, 201. What happens if we close below 191? With volume, all that suggests is another test of that low out there. So that's what you've got going on. So it's really that new profile where those sellers reside at $1.92, and so far they're holding their line out there. The weekly time frame chart is trading with inside its profile. It is trading inside a slightly structured sell zone between $1.87 and $2.11 out there. So it's really all going to be about the daily time frame. Dan, formed a wave number 7 bottom. We can see that wave number G, letter number G, I should say, and we did that at the breakout level. So that was a beautiful trade set up there. So that's what I see with regard to SLS. You got one more, which is TELO. So let's go take a look at TELO. And TELO is trading out at $1.34. $1.34 takes us below the bottom of its daily profile. So we've got resistance at $1.41, and we have support at $1.25. $1.25 is the oscillator and change line. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, price right now is testing the bottom of its weekly profile. That is the bottom and the center, and that's at $1.32. So you're just consolidating, if you will, inside the weekly profile. On a monthly time frame, we like this because at the end of September, this will complete a TD9 count bottoming pattern. And I would say that over time, price might want to make its move up to the TD9 count breakdown level at 708. So what do we see here? I'd really love to be able to identify a nice daily bottom pattern. I don't see that as we speak, at least just yet. We'd like to see the same thing on the weekly. Now, the weekly may have that already done. Let's take a look at the weekly A to B. Yeah, so the weekly does have a by the D point bottom pattern. That by the D point swing point looks like it was tested. The low of that was $1.12. The volume there, a little over 1 million shares, and it was tested with 4 million shares. So did that test last week. This week, we are at about 8 million shares. So, you continue to test that swing point area with volume. Let me just see on this day here when we did move up to the upside kind of volume. So there you go. So it's 167 million shares. So that's what's really holding this level. So it really hasn't been able to bust it to the downside out here. So that could be the signal of that bottoming pattern out there. So right now, watch that $1.41. If you can get above $1.41, that would be a nice positive for you. Let's move on to our next request coming in from Nitram inside the Tiger's Den. And this is for Tilray. TLRY out there. I believe this is a cannabis stock, if I'm not mistaken. On a daily time frame, this formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top, Nitram, and that has taken price all the way back to the bottom of its daily profile. It was a It is a bullish structured profile out there, and that's between the range of $1.07, I believe, $1.06 to $1.12. Now, what you're going to notice, and I don't know, Nitram, if you're looking to take a long position in this or not, but today is going to become bar number 9 of a TD9 count. That says that tomorrow the pattern will complete. So you do have a bottoming signal that you could use to take a long position. You may want to wait till tomorrow, and the reason I would say that at this moment in time is because price is trading below the bottom of that daily profile. And it always says caution out there. So if we close below that, definitely it makes sense to wait for tomorrow. The reason why you really want to wait as well is because the weekly time frame chart has a TD9 count top. And that TD9 count top has gotten traction. We're trading below last week's low out there. There's only 2 weeks to the downside, so that could be a bottom signal if this is a major bottom that is formed out here. On a weekly basis, you do have a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. But the level of support out here for Tilray is 95 cents on a weekly time frame chart at the top of its profile. If price were to close below that, that would get us down to the 65 to 75 cent level out there. So the daily likely will complete a TD9 count bottom pattern tomorrow. Could consider that for a long. If you close below the low of that pattern, you know that we're wrong on that, and then the weekly would be the one that you'd really be paying attention to. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Broadcom. AVGO is the ticker symbol out here. This is for Nitram inside the Tiger's Den. So Nitram on a daily time frame, this negated a Rhodes momentum indicator topping signal. It still has that signal triggered, which means another bearish reversal candle would confirm a top. Short of that, price should rally. We're trading above resistance levels. Last week, AVGO negated its TD9 count top, and it did that basically immediately. It formed that pattern the week before, negated it right away. Tells you about a strong upward momentum move that is underway inside of Broadcom. The weekly time frame, price has already hit the 1-to-1 price objective of its A to B equals CD pattern. That's the A to B equals CD pattern that began in October of 2022. Now we can see that price is along the left side of that C to D leg. That says it's simply coming off the C point, much stronger move than along that A to B level. That says you do more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, and we're slightly above that right now. Because you've got that A to B equals CD pattern out there, bearish reversal candles on the daily and the weekly would also form sell the D point tops. We don't have that at this moment in time. It looks to me like Broadcom wants to continue its rally, Nitram. So hope that helps you out. SatP wants to go take a look at the Rocket RKT. It's at Rocket Labs. I can't remember RKT. But his question is this a seller? I believe that is the question. So I'm going to answer that question. The answer is no. On a daily time frame, I do not see any kind of a topping signal as we speak right now. The weekly is trading above its TD9 count breakout level. That's at 21.38. That's a bullish signal. We are in bar number 8 of a TD9 count, but the daily is not suggesting that we are there, meaning that bar number 8 is going to be the high. Maybe next week is the high. Maybe it's the week after. And the monthly time frame chart, what RKT is doing, it's taking out a swing point that has volume of 70 million shares, and so far for the month, and it's only the 11th, we're at 192 million shares, is taking out 70 million shares. So you got the volume there. That sets up an A to B equals CD pattern. So SatP, is this a sell? Heck no. Not even close to a sell out there. Let's go look at your next request. SOUN. Let's pull that up on our screen out here. Now, I believe on this one, we're looking for support and resistance levels. Excuse me. Something in the throat. So on a daily time frame, your first level of support is 1425. That is its oscillator and change line. The price were to close below that, then it would move down towards the top of its profile, which is 1302. Below that, 1211. The next resistance level on a daily time frame is its TD9 count breakdown resistance area. 1659 is the number. The weekly time frame chart has a TD9 count breakdown resistance level as well, and that's at 1597. That's been tested. That has been rejected. So to resistance, you got 1597. If price is able to close above that, 1659. The weekly time frame chart formed a nice TD9 count bottom pattern out there. Just mentioning that. On a monthly time frame, your next level of support would be 1017. That is the top of its monthly profile out there. Resistance would really be its all-time high out there, and that is up at the 2498 area. So that's what I see with regard to support and resistance for SOUN. Sat, hope that gave you the information that you were looking for. Roger in Boulder, Colorado, is trying to take a long position, or would like to take a long position, in ticker symbol CRCL. Now, CRCL just began trading 3 months ago. It's an IPO. As we look at the daily time frame, what I don't see here is a daily bottom signal. You know, an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Well, could we come up with an A to B equals CD pattern? I think we could. So let's do this here. Let's actually measure it out. The A point that I'm going to start with, let's look at my keyboard. Let's try this again. There we go. So the A point, I'm going to start here with the high from July the 18th. I'm going to pull that all the way down to August the 6th. We're going to copy. We're going to paste. and now we're going to assemble. That makes us a CPA. So the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern will get us down to about 71.97. So that is, we don't have a confirmed A to B equals CD by the D point pattern is what I really should say. What we do have, though, Roger, is we do have a profile change in trend forming today. And that's going to require a close above 122 today. That's the top of his profile, as well as tomorrow. If we do that, that is a bullish profile change in trend signal, and that would suggest that price could rally all the way up to 156.80. So you're looking for an entry point out there. This one's a toughie because we really don't have it. The only bottom signal we have is trading above profile resistance out there. I would like to see something else to help us out on the weekly and monthly, and it's just not there. But if you just do decide to take a long trade, your stop needs to be, I would have to say, it needs to be below the low of September 5th out there, and that's 108.02. Roger, you're also taking a look at the FIG, another IPO that is out here. And so let's go pull that chart up on our screen. FIG is trading out at, I don't know, right now it's a figment of my imagination because it is not coming up on my screen. There we go. 54.67 is the number. Now, of the two, FIG is the one that I'd rather you go ahead and take a entry position in. Why? Because it does have a confirmed daily TD9 count bottom pattern. You would close out the trade if price were to close below 50.49. You're trading at 54.66 right now. So you got a pretty decent risk reward. No profile levels because it's just too new of an IPO. But your price target to the upside would be 72.20. That is the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. So between those two instruments, FIG is the one that has the actual good bottom signal out there. It's much more clear. Now, we don't have any profiles to help us out, but we certainly do have a bottoming pattern. So I hope that helps you. Let's go take a look at RBRK. This is from Mohammed. Give me a moment. We'll get that up on our screen. RBRK is trading out right now at $80.70. Now, yesterday, quite the move lower, sliced right through the bottom of its bullish structured a daily profile, which is 84.43. You do have a bullish hammer candle that potentially that is forming today. Does that mean anything? All it really means is you have a wave number 7 bottom signal out here. That's going to need a higher low. What it does is really sets up potentially, if it is a hammer candle at day's end, it just sets up a support level, which would be at 77.49. But when we look at the weekly time frame chart, which has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, price is pulled all the way back to the bottom of its weekly profile. That's at the price point of 80.45. We're trading at 80.76 right now. So support is held there. Wave 7 bottom. It should get at least a couple-day rally, 2 to 4 day rally, I would think. But we're not going to get that confirmation of that Wave 7 bottom until Monday. But if you're if you're not risk adverse and you're looking for an entry point, today could absolutely be that. We come back from this break, we're going to look at AMAT from Mohammed as well. That, I believe, is the only other request that I have at this moment in time. Of course, I got to check my phone and the email. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go take a look at AMAT out here from Mohammed. Give me a moment. We'll get to that screen. I think we'll get to that screen. I just got to figure out where I put it. It should be right here. So we take a look at AMAT. This is trading out right now at 169.79. It is trading above, so it forms a wave number 7 bottom, a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It was confirmed on September the 4th. Now we are trading above the top of its bearish structured daily profile, 164.99. 2 consecutive closes above that are going to generate a bullish profile change in trend to go with the daily Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, wave number 7 bottom that says we continue to rally. Rally to where? It really depends upon its weekly chart. Now, the weekly formed a TD9 count bottom pattern as well. Price is pulled back, and it is trading into the level where a counter trend move would come to an end. Yep, it was a bullish structured profile that price closed below for more than 2 consecutive sessions out there. What you really love to see this do out here, Mohammed, is close the day above 169.13. We're at 169.69. If we do that, then that could trigger a signal that price wants to make a move up to 196.54, the top of the weekly profile. What could get in the way of that move to 196.54? That would be the center of its bearish structured monthly profile. And that says that you have a sell zone between 178.92 and 197.31. So the daily looks like it wants to rally. It's just waiting on a confirmation from the weekly, which is close above the center of its profile. And if it does that, it will make a move to 178.92. If it can close above 178.92, you're looking at 196.54. So how is that for an analysis of AMAT? Let's see if we can help Hector and Patty out with ticker symbol TMDX. So let's get that up on our screen. TMDX right now is trading out at, come on, boys and girls, 657.12. No wonder you're talking about A to B equals CD patterns to the upside out there. If we take, this is the SPYs, TMDX. What the heck happened? All right, I'm just going to go back one. I don't know what Stevie actually did there, but that was the SPYs we were talking about. So that's what we'll get to next. That came in from Kevin, who's asking for strong resistance. So let me just get TMDX on our screen out here. There we go. So TMDX, totally different. Trading out at 116 right now on a daily basis. It is trading above the top of its bear structured daily profile. So we are getting a bullish profile change in trend signal. Where should that take us to next? The next level would be 118.77. That happens to be the weekly oscillator and change line. Now, Hector and Patty, if price can clear that 118.77 level, then you got another battle, and that's courtesy of the sell zone of its weekly time frame chart, and that is between the range of 122.70 to 128.40. If we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, shows that price is trading above profile resistance, beautiful, 103.95, but is finding resistance at its oscillator and change line. So in order for this to continue to really its rally, we need to see price starting to trade above 117.51. That's the monthly oscillator and change line. Then you got about 118.81 out there, and that will then free up the daily to get you to the TD9 count breakdown resistance level of 129.01. Now, you were asking about A to B equals CD patterns, or at least I believe that you were. Where'd that email go? Shoot, I can't pull that one back up. I think you were asking about A to B equals CD patterns, but I don't see them to the upside or to the downside, at least at this stage of the game. So, Hector and Patty, I hope that helps you out. TMDX is the ticker symbol. Now let's go take a look at the SPY. And the question, it's a good question, coming from Kevin S., who is asking, where is resistance on the SPY? Well, that's a great question, and everybody would like to know. If we open up the monthly time frame chart, you'll understand the answer to my question, because no matter how far we go back, we are at a new all-time high. So we're at a new all-time high, and not unless a new profile were to form would we be able to identify a resistance level out there. We could do price projections of A to B equals CD and all that stuff, but that doesn't set up resistance out here. Resistance would be a market profile, a TD9 count breakdown level, something else. Now, so I can't give that to you at this moment in time. Wait, I thought you just said you can't give me a resistance level. Well, remember, Stevie has those horizontal trading range boundary charts. That can give us a resistance point for daily, weekly, monthly, for whatever time frame it is. The problem is I've got to start up that e-signal system. And I can try to do that during the breakout here. I think the better plan would be this, Kevin. Listen to tomorrow's show, or at least listen to the recording of tomorrow's show. What I will do for the SPY or the S&P 500 is provide those horizontal trading range boundary chart. So at this stage here, Stevie's got no resistance level for you on the SPY. You asked the same question about the IWM. Now, the IWM becomes much easier. First, the daily resistance level, new profile that formed yesterday, 238.34. We close above that, that would be a bullish outcome. The weekly time frame has resistance at its high. That was a Rhodes momentum indicator top that formed in November 29th. So resistance there is 244.98. And really, we have the same thing going on inside of the monthly time frame chart out there. We had a Rhodes momentum indicator top, 244.46, I think was the number. Yeah, 244.46. What did I give you? 244.98. Oh, I know where that's coming from, this high right here, which was November of 2024. That 240.46 takes us back to 2021. So you can see it's easy to identify resistance levels for you, Kevin, on the IWM. Not so much with regard to the NASDAQ one. Well, even the NASDAQ 100, we could do that, but not so for the S&P 500 or the SPY. But we will give you that data by taking a look at those horizontal trading range boundary lines out there. And what I'll do is I'll grab a copy of that tonight, and I'll show that to you tomorrow out there. So no other requests that we have that I know of. So let's do this. Let's go back to the intraday charts for the intraday traders out there and try to assist them with regard to what's going on inside the ES or the NQ. I believe it is the NQ that is going to pull up on my screen here first. Perfect. So when I was looking at this earlier, it looked like the 30-minute TD9 count top was being negated. Let's wait for it to chart. And in fact, it was negated. But when we take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart, you will see that a TD9 count top is going to go ahead and complete in about another 11 minutes at 12 p.m. out there. What should unfold, there's also a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. If we were to get a bearish reversal candle, it would be top number 2. Do we need 2 tops? Heck no. We just need 1 top. We don't need the 4 tops. We just need 1 top out there. So price ought to pull back. Now, the first level of support on a 60-minute time frame is going to be the top of its profile, 23,991. So if price could close below that, then we're looking at 23,960-ish or so. That's its 60-minute oscillator and change line. That's the NQ. A lot of topping signals along the 240-minute time frame charts. Got a Rhodes momentum indicator top, TD9 count on the 120-minute time frame chart. You might form another one out there. So you got stronger resistance on the NQ. The number to be watching there to the upside is going to be 24,044.25. Let's go see what the ES Mini is doing. I don't know if this will populate before we go to breakout here. We've got about 30 seconds, really, 35 seconds before we go to the hard break. But let's see. What do we have on a 60-minute time frame? Do we have any kind of synergy here? We're looking to see if it populates with a TD9 count top. And the answer is it does. It'll complete its TD9 count top come 12 noon. That suggests a pullback to the top of its profile. 65.65 would be the number. Watch the high of the day, because if price starts trading above that and closes above that, it negates that 60-minute TD9 count topping pattern. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back up, folks. Our quick request here from Duncan Steve to take a look at Romeo and Juliet, to be or not to be. BE is the ticker symbol out there. We looked at it yesterday. This thing is bullish on its monthly, its weekly, its daily time frame. The weekly time frame is going to go ahead and form a TD9 count top today. It'll complete that pattern next week. We don't see a topping pattern in the daily time frame. Therefore, we assume that that top will not go ahead and complete until next week on the weekly time frame for BE out there. So I hope that helps you out. Earlier, we were taking a look look at the intraday equity future contracts. I'm going to put the 60-minute time frame chart up on our screen here momentarily. You'll see 3 of the 4 equity future contracts, the ES, the NQ, and the Dow, YM, are going to go ahead and have those TD9 count tops. Now, the YM and the ES Mini and the NQ, so all of them will complete TD9 count topping patterns at 11 a.m. The Russell 2000 is in a world of its own, but we got 3 of the 4. Those suggest you should prepare and anticipate that price will pull back. Again, those price targets being the first levels of support, the ES Mini about 65.65, the NQ 23.991, the Dow all the way down at 45.758. Now, that doesn't guarantee that these TD9 counts are going to hold. Therefore, watch the high of the day. If price starts trading above it, tells you about a strong upward momentum move that is underway for the 60-minute time frame, and that the rally is likely to continue out there. What else can we take a look at? I don't know. I took a look at I put up the currency pairs. I took a look at the 3 currency pairs that represent 80% of the U.S. dollar index, that being the euro. The euro is trading above its green oscillator and change line. If it continues to rally, which it should go target that TD9 count breakdown level, that will put weakness in the U.S. dollar. The U.S. Japanese yen is trading below its green oscillator and change line. As it moves lower, it's getting stronger. The dollar would be getting weaker. The Great British Pound also trading above its green oscillator and change line. As it moves higher, the U.S. dollar index gets weaker. That's what putting the weakness inside of the U.S. dollar index. Bitcoin, by the way, October contract trade above, are getting back inside its daily profile, 115.011. If it can stay there, its next price target would be 117.443. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a terrific day. Just have a terrific Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow on Fantastic Friday. Take care. Be very safe out there.